Hey there everyone, thanks again for tuning into Sid's Workshop. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. So, today we're going to be talking about The Blood Trials by N.E. Davenport. This is a debut novel, and it's a sci-fi fantasy blend that begins in a Afrofuturistic world. Honestly, I loved it. It was a good novel, but that doesn't mean it's not without its bumps in the road, you know what I mean? So, this is what I did like about the book. It is a good blend of science fiction and fantasy that I think there isn't enough of out there because I like sci-fi, you know. I do like sci-fi and I love fantasy. I think we all know by now that I love fantasy. But I want more of them together. And I think you can do them together because Davenport proves with this novel that you can really blend the two together without the fantasy feeling kind of out of place and without the sci-fi feeling kind of out of place. It's a sci-fi world. Again, Afrofuturistic world here. The only fantasy element is the blood. I'm going to call it blood bending because that's literally what it is. It's just blood bending, which I think is really cute. Not cute, cool. I don't know why I said cute. It's definitely not cute. But it's a really good blend of those two together because, you know, that whole blood bending aspect of the story, it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. It really does fit within the narrative and the world because you have the Marine. I hope that's how you pronounce it. You know, you have the world of Marine. Super futuristic world. They are at war with the Blood Emperor. That's what he calls himself. And the Blood Emperor's kingdom, as you can imagine, these are people who can control people with their blood and other people's blood, you know? That makes them very threatening. And they were at war for so long. And Ikina's mother was actually killed by Blood Emperor assassins because they were trying to get back at her grandfather, because he was steadfast. You know, he was the one who really brought the war to a standstill. Like, this is a man who was a fighter, a technician, a strategist, you know. That's who he was. He was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. However, he was assassinated, and that's where the book starts. He was assassinated, and you have our main protagonist, Ikenna. She's still grieving that loss because he was all she had in the world. You know, he was the only one who knew her secret because, again, she has to keep her own bloodbending gifts. That's what I'm calling it. A secret. You know, she had to keep it a secret because it would mean instant execution for her because that is the gift of the enemy and they don't really want that around. Not to mention, it doesn't work in her favor that she is a young black woman. This world is so sexist and it is misogynistic and it is racist. And that really does offer the story a lot of depth. It offers it a lot of tension. It also offers it something kind of relatable to the reader. Like, this is something grounded that you can attach to. This is something that, you know, is still going on in our reality today. So it's not even far-fetched, right? It's a relatable concept that really does ground the story to earth. You know, it grounds the story and it makes it accessible to the reader. Now, she's still grieving, finds out he's assassinated, find out the assassin is probably part of the Praetorian Guard. So she's like, okay, I gotta get my shit together. I'm going to join the Praetorian Guard. I am going to make it through the trials. This is where the story may lose some readers. And I only say that because at 460 pages, it's a lot of hazing. because that's what the trials are. The Praetorian trials are just so much hazing and so much hate and so much. If you're a person of color, if you are from the wrong district or wrong part of the country, if you are a woman, the goal of the Praetorian trials is to weed out the weak ones. It's deadly. It is absolutely deadly. There's so much hazing that goes on. Again, it does lend to the struggles that not just Ikenna has to face. It lends to the struggles that any woman or person who's not from the right part of town, or person who doesn't come from money, or person who's a woman, they have to face these challenges day in and day out. Except here, they are deadly. I mean, this is hazing to such an extreme. The goal of the Praetorian trials is you either live or you die, basically. That's how they weed them out. If you live to the final, but you still don't make the cut to be a Praetorian, yeah, you get to live. But you have to live through everything else first. You have to live through all that hazing first. It's a lot. It is a lot. It does lend to some character development. It does lend to character growth, not just for Ikenna, but the other characters, as they're all kind of put together. A lot of characters have to come face to face with their misogyny and their sexism and their racism and just get over it, That's it. They just have to get over it and move past it and become better people, and they become teammates, and you get to see that. You get to see people be like, wow, I was a fucking shithead. And I like that realization, I did. It's a long journey to get to that point, but it is a good journey to see that these are characters who are willing to put aside their differences in order for the greater good, But it does slow down the pacing. So that could potentially put off other readers. For me, I enjoyed it. It was a bit much for me just because I wanted the story to move a little bit faster. The scenes were high tension. It was action-packed. You get to see Ikenna in all her fierceness and attitude, but I think less is more in this case. I think we get it. They're assholes. Completely understand that. But I really would have wished that it had happened a little faster. Go boom, boom, boom. Instead of kind of just dragging out that hazing, because it's a lot of hate. It's a lot of hazing. It's rough. People die, and the mentors, the ones in charge, they don't even bat an eye. It's like they went through it. They're like, you either make it through it or you don't. You live or you don't. We want the best of the best because you have to fight for your country. You have to be the best. And if you can't survive these trials, then there's no point in mourning your death. It's a very matter of fact. But, it still really is a good story. It might put off some readers because of that. I understand that. I acknowledge that. I personally found it to be riveting. It did drag, again, for me a little bit. But as far as a debut go, I like the character development. I like the character dynamics. I love the depth and development of those character dynamics. I like how you get to see other characters other than the main character go through changes and develop and grow into stronger, better people. I like that blend of the fantasy and the sci-fi. I think it worked really well together. I really do think it gave the world a really good, rounded structure. So, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and give this book 4 to 5 stars. Really good book. I'm excited to read the next one. It's a duology. Next one's coming out in just a couple months. Super excited. I am here for it. I need to see what the heck is going to happen. I have some theories and suspicions. And I need to be proven right. I think I'm right. I think I'm right. But we'll see. We shall see. In any case, thank you all for tuning in to Sin's workshop. Once again, this book gets 4 to 5 stars. If you want to go ahead and purchase the book, I will include links in the description below. If you can't afford the book, check out the book from your local library. And please remember to support me by liking this channel, liking this video, subscribing to my channel, sharing it with all your book loving friends. You can also become a supporter on Buy Me a Coffee. The goal is for me to reach 500 so I can host an Instagram giveaway worth $75 of books, and also put the funds towards making Sin's workshop, an even better website. There's so much I want to do. But you can also become a supporter by purchasing one of my handmade candles. I am having a sale. I am extending the sale towards the next month, and then go from there, 50% off all candles. So I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And as always, happy reading.